Alrighty. Welcome everyone back into Crypto's News. It's me, Omar Bam, aka Crypto, and I'm just doing a quick video here. It looks like I'm having some sort of camera issue, so my own image will not be showing up, but I did want to update you guys on what the news is that's happening right now because it's quite groundbreaking, I would say, as far as crypto news that we've had recently. And so I wanted to make sure that you're informed as to what is going on. And what is going on is probably, at least seemingly, the start of some sort of alt bull market potentially here, as the news is being digested across the board and being shared all over Twitter. So I wanted to take a moment to just share that with you guys. So as you can see, we have Bitcoin up 4.1%, pretty massive in one day. Ethereum up even more than that, 6.5%. But take a look at Ripple. Ripple is up 73.8%. This is, I guess Cardano's up quite a lot too, 19.5%. Polygon 17.8%. Wow, a lot of big moves across the board. This has to do with a case against the SEC that's going on with Ripple, where Ripple was sued by the SEC. That's Gary Gensler, the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, for having sold these XRP tokens, Ripple the company, as potentially a security, meaning they did not register and that asset was potentially a security sale. It looks like a judge has ruled it is not the case, at least partially not the case. You couldn't even beat Ripple, Gary. It's over. Yeah, he's been one of the ones who's been quite egregious against the market recently. It looks like every time it wants to move up, he does some sort of new lawsuit against it. And this is a case that has had the potential to make many coins look like securities if they were deemed security sales in this particular instance. So it's been a very closely followed case. And now it's looking like if they can't even take down Ripple, the SEC, then how are they going to go after other tokens like Ethereum? So you have coins like Ethereum right now celebrating a win. You can see there Ripple crypto industry score partial win in SEC court fight over XRP. This is the crucial point here. Institutional sales of the tokens violated federal securities laws, yes, but programmatic sales did not, a court ruled. So I think this is important to look at here. So these backdoor private sales of the tokens were, right, to institutional groups, private entities, and so on, were securities violations. But when they were available on public markets or algorithmically by perhaps a network issuing these automatically, like it has been the case with a lot of different ICOs, with Ethereum, with their pre-sale and so on, those would not be deemed as securities violations. So SEC versus Ripple in brief. This is Bill Hughes on Twitter. We'll be looking at a bunch of Twitter things real quick. Ripple putting XRP on exchanges for trading and funding their operation with those sales is not an investment contract and therefore not a security. Ripple paying people in XRP is not an investment contract and therefore not a security. XRP is not a security in and of itself, even when offered through a securities transaction. Ripple selling XRP directly pursuant to contracts was an investment contract and thus a security. Ripple had fair notice that doing this without registration was illegal, and a jury will be needed to decide whether Ripple execs aided and abetted this unregistered issuance. I'd be shocked if the SEC doesn't immediately appeal to this secondary court. So not a complete win just yet, but definitely partially setting precedent for future cases here in a preliminary sense. The XRP case today suggests that a project can do an ICO, an initial coin offering, so long as it sells the tokens publicly on an open exchange at the same time that other holders can also sell on the same terms. Sounds reasonable, transparent pricing, equal access by all parties, no secret deals. Ripple soars 50% after U.S. judge ruled it's not a security. As you saw before, it's up even more than that right now, up 73.9%. And then you had like calls, which exchange is going to be the first to relist XRP that was taken off so many exchanges, and Coinbase Assets did tweet this out. Coinbase will re-enable trading for XRP on Ripple's token on the XRP network. Do not send this asset over other networks or your funds may be lost. Transfers for this asset remain available on Coinbase and in the exchanges where trading is available. So they're re-enabling trading almost immediately. The Coinbase people are going to be eating good tonight. Will Clement, XRP not a security, Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, a lot of Bitcoin maximalists are fuming right now. I'm a little tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, Some of the maximalists are rooting for the SEC here because it would destroy altcoins. They would all be securities, right? The only thing that's not a security is Bitcoin. That kind of case has been at least partially violated in this particular instance. And so you're seeing that the flood into Bitcoin may be slowing down here, and alt season may be beginning here. And that's what you're seeing right now, like I mentioned before here. While Bitcoin is up only 3.8% up on the news as well, it's not nearly as much as many of these other coins like Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polygon. So good news if you're holding altcoins and you were continuing to bet in that direction, as many did get scared away from taking those particular investments, whatever it is, gambles, whatever it is people are doing with their crypto. So many people are into it for so many different reasons, right? Infinity over 21 million, tweets Michael Saylor. Yeah, infinite fiat dollars and fiat fake money over only 21 million Bitcoin. Took the opportunity to tweet something that I think is, of course, true. Let's look here. This is what propaganda looks like. So the response from the SEC that responded on Fox Business, they said, "We are pleased that the court found that XRP tokens were offered and sold by Ripple as investment contracts in violation of securities laws in certain circumstances." They didn't really underline that, but I think that's a key point here. They acknowledged that it was not a complete win, but they're trying to phrase it like it was almost by the way they're doing this. The court agreed with the SEC that the Howey test governs the securities analysis of crypto transactions and rejected Ripple's made-up test as to what constitutes an investment contract, instead emphasizing that Howey in subsequent cases have held that a variety of tangible and intangible assets can serve as a subject of an investment contract. Further, the court rejected Ripple's fair notice argument, noting that the Howey test is clear and that claiming ignorance is not a defense violating the securities laws. We'll continue to review that decision. Actually, quite ridiculous and opposite to what they're saying, but they're going to try to get, of course, the public attention, more public outcry, more people on their side. But actually, I think this is a win for the people, because how many opportunities do people past the boomer generation, maybe even the boomer generation themselves, have to possibly grow some sort of wealth? I think crypto presents one of those only opportunities here. So this is, in my opinion, a big win for the people, having altcoins being available on secondary exchanges and allowing capitalist markets to operate and determine prices and allow people to make good investment, bad investments. Not everything wins. That's going to lead to a better allocation of capital and I think better future prospects and growth and opportunity for more people around the world. Of course, that's not how they would view it, but that's personally how I see it. However, not to rain on the party, but he at least hates to do that. Chris Dunn wrote this. So it might not be that this is going to be immediately some sort of like huge bull market that's starting, maybe in some sort of part, but he wrote, "Hate to poo on the party, but I don't think this Ripple news is a clear win for two reasons. 728 million was raised illegally," and a footnote on page 23. You can find that on Court Listener, on courtlistener.com. I did see the case itself. I'm not going through it here, but there's definitely more to look into. So footnote on page 23 adds more confusion to the question if exchange traded tokens are securities. The court does not address whether the secondary market sales of XRP constitute offers and sales of investment contracts, because that question is not properly before the court. Whether a secondary market sale constitutes an offer or sale of an investment contract would depend on the totality of circumstances and the economic reality of that specific contract, transaction, or scheme. So they're not trying to paint anything with broad strokes here and not trying to create a whole precedent. They specifically said here. So, it might be unfortunate to cover that, but as Chris Dunn says, investing without bias means seeing the world as it truly is, not just as we want it to be. And in other news, just wanted to briefly cover that, or at least make you aware of that as we wrap this up. Just wanted to do a quick video with you guys to update you. Founder of crypto lender Celsius Network pleads not guilty to fraud charge. So he was arrested today in New York. Alex Mashinsky, the founder and former CEO of bankrupt cryptocurrency lender Celsius Network, pleaded not guilty after being arrested on fraud charges in Manhattan. He was 57, charged with 7 criminal counts: securities fraud, commodities fraud, wire fraud, according to the earlier indictment. He is going to be freed on a $40 million bond that is secured by his Manhattan residence. And when he arrived in court, he was wearing a gray polo shirt, jeans, and no handcuffs. So I'm hearing that he might be getting between 15 and 20 years if he indeed has to go through with these charges. So I think this is a better direction in the form of justice, as people have been seeing Alex Mashinsky walk out free without really any sort of personal consequence since the bankrupt lender went down. So I think this is something being celebrated, of course, by a lot of Celsians, people who are part of the Celsius network. And you're seeing all sorts of Twitter spaces right now taking place where people are chatting about this news. If you'd like more information, check out Twitter yourself. And that's pretty much it. So this is somebody already turned it into a quote. This was said by Tyler Winklevoss, one of the founders of the Gemini crypto exchange. The Ripple ruling today confirms that the SEC and Gary Gensler are not the regulator of crypto. What a win. Take care, guys. Much love. I'm actually quite bullish from here on out. As you guys know, I'm generally quite bullish, but I think this is a huge change despite what we're seeing, that I think is showing that the SEC is not just going to win every case. It's going to be hard fought, and it's going to have to be on an individual basis. And if they cannot win on something as clear as they're saying against Ripple, then man, is it going to be tough for them to go against all other altcoins. Take care, everyone. Much love. And of course, stay cryptic. Peace.